Welcome to the Equinety Podcast, where horse owners just like you share their incredible Equinety stories and how Equinety is changing their horses' lives. Whether you're searching for something to give your performance horse better focus, faster recovery, and more stamina, or in the extreme case where all hope seems lost, give your horse what it needs to help heal at a cellular level, you'll find it here. So jump in on today's episode to hear how Equinety is helping horses worldwide. Now, welcome your host, John Dowdy.
Hello and welcome to this week's Equinety Podcast. We are swinging up into Pennsylvania. We've got Hannah Lang on the call this week. Hannah, welcome to the Equinety Podcast.
Thank you guys for having me. Super excited to tell you my story.
Good. Well, it's a pleasure. And we came across one of your comments on Facebook, which is how we, see a lot of these stories. And what caught my attention was what you had specifically said is talking about our product. You said, this has helped my mare so much. She wasn't worked with as a baby, so she had muscle issues, feet issues, coat issues, and this product had fixed it all, 100% recommended. I thought, well, that could be interesting to talk about. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are searching for things to kind of do the same thing. So how long have you had your horse? What are, going maybe into a little bit more depth, tell us about your horse and, more in depth of the issues you were dealing with.
So Reba is a 6-year-old quarter horse. I've owned her for almost a year and a half now. And I worked with her for about 3 months before I ended up buying her. She was not broker trained when I bought her. So I've been working with her to train her for Western pleasure and trail and showmanship. But as we rode more and got more into having a routine, I noticed that her hair coat wasn't doing very well. Her feet were pretty good, but they could use some fixing up. She needed to put on some weight. And her muscles, she was having some muscle atrophy issues. And my best friend, Abby, had told me about the products they have their horse Indy on, and it did wonders for him. So I went on Amazon and I bought the product for Reba.
That is great. And then, so you received the product, and then how long was it before you started seeing results?
It was around 2.5 to 3 weeks I started seeing results. And that was mainly she had some more energy and her hair coat was better.
Mm. That's great. And when people say it gives more energy, it wasn't like, making your horse hot? Was she just feeling good, overall?
She was feeling good. She was happy to be doing what she was doing when I was taking her out to lunge and ride her. She was just had some more energy. It wasn't like making her like crazy or anything, but she was happier to be doing her job.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things we find a lot. And people, there are often times where people are a bit apprehensive because they hear, oh, I gave my horse more energy, but it is not making them hot. They just feel better, which is kind of what you just described. Yeah. And, that to see results in 2 to 3 weeks, I find is pretty incredible. And I'll get into that in just a little bit of exactly how the product works. So you've been using the product how long at this point?
I think like 3.5 months I've been using it. Mm-hmm. And it's really helped her.
That is great. And what are some of the other things you've noticed from the 2 to 3 week period up to this point?
So her hair coat's phenomenal now. The farrier even gave me a call and told me how well her feet are doing. Her muscles have really changed from being droopy and really hot, like kind of not muscular. And from now, they're really nice. Like she looks like a nice quarter horse now. She's put on a bunch of weight. So she's doing a lot better with this. Yeah.
Yeah. And those are, pretty typical things that we hear often. And how's her training coming along?
It's doing very well right now. Currently, I can't ride because I have a fractured arm.
Yikes.
So right now we're kind of on a break, but before we were doing great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's nice. Well, for those of you who are tuning in, maybe you're looking for something to help in a very similar way, or maybe you're dealing with a mystery lameness, or maybe you're looking for better hoof growth, or pretty much name anything that you're trying to help your horse with. This might just be your answer. What's really unique with the Equinety Horse XL is it doesn't fit into a specific supplement category. So in other words, it's not a hoof supplement, per se. It's not a muscle building supplement or a shiny coat supplement. What it is, the Equinety Horse XL is 100% pure amino acids. And these are specifically formulated to give the body what it needs to release its own repairing hormones. And when we can do that, we're allowing the horse's body to send its own hormones to its own problem area. So in essence, it's customizing to each horse. And that's why this helps in so many ways. And in your case, you're dealing with muscle atrophy, which it's helped all the muscles. The coat is now healthy and shiny. She feels better. The hoof growth. I mean, all of these things from this tiny little 5-gram scoop, which is about like a teaspoon. So how was the palatability with her?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah. She just eats it right up.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is what we find.
Yeah. It doesn't even bother her whatsoever. She just eats it right up.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, also, you had mentioned that you started seeing results within 2 to 3 weeks. What's really great about this product is it starts working in 24 hours. And we've had a lot of people when they're dealing with horses that have a lot of stress or anxiety or a bit spooky. We've heard of complete demeanor changes in as little as 2 to 3 days. And then you get into the couple week mark, faster recovery, more stamina, better focus. And just as you were seeing in the 2 to 3 week mark, with the shinier coat and filling out. And I would say the vast majority of people see changes in 30 days or less, which is pretty darn awesome, if I might say so myself.
Yeah, I think I'll say it again, I 100% recommend this product to anyone looking with the same issues for their horse, looking for something.
Yeah.
Because it's really helped her within those 30 days. You can even tell that when I would ride her, she would be able to last longer, not get super tired and sore the next day. So
yeah, that's the recovery and the stamina is coming in. We've got a lot of people that are, in the stages of training their horses, especially with the younger horses, and it seems to really help with the focus. And again, the recovery and the stamina for those that are, competing and riding all the time. So it's pretty awesome in that way. Also, it's 100% safe to give with any other medications or other supplements because amino acids are the building blocks of protein. And so it's a really easy thing just to put a scoop in their feed every day and away you go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. So as you are looking forward, what are your goals and things with your horse as you're moving forward and once you are able to get back to training yourself?
My goals for, I would say this summer would just to be able to take her to both of our first shows and be able to just have that experience to go into the ring and just be able to show. I don't expect to win first place or place at all. I might even get disqualified. Mm-hmm. I just want that experience,
Sure. Yeah. That is great.
Because I've never showed before in my life, and she has never even been on a trailer before. So
could be interesting.
Yes, could be very interesting.
Well, based on 7 years of being on the market with this product, I mean, one of the things that really does help with is the stress, anxiety. They seem to haul better. Probably the best description we've heard is, they just feel more comfortable and balanced in their skin. is probably a good way to
Yes.
describe. Yeah.
I didn't realize, but now that I'm thinking about it, there has been a change. In the winter, it's all horses. They're all more crazy, but they're very spooky. Like, she gets really spooky at like gates and stuff like that. And this year, she was a lot better. She was a lot better within the months of like February and March. She was a lot better with her spooking.
Yeah.
She gives me a nice ride for my life.
Making sure you're alive, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, that's pretty funny. Well, if there's anybody that's tuning into this podcast and, maybe they're on the fence a little bit and say, well, this stuff sounds too good to be true, or, I don't really know. Is there anything that you could say to them to maybe help them get off the fence and give it a try?
I would just say listen to the podcast, because I thought it was too good to be true until I tried it from what my friends had said, and hey, it turned out to be true. And I'm sure that maybe you guys could do something where like a before and after picture and maybe post it on your Facebook and you could see the changes.
Yeah. No, that's great. We actually call that the 30-day challenge, where we have encouraged people to take a picture before and then 30 days later. And so we've got quite a few of those, but it's a great way to be able to just see the physical changes, because, when you're around your horse every day, sometimes you don't see the little changes, and it could just be, filling out in the hips or in the top line, or just the softer, shinier coat.
Yeah.
And
I walked into the barn the other day and I looked at her and I said, you look so much healthier than you did last year at this time.
Yeah.
I was very happy and amazed with the progress she's made with her filling out and her hair coat and just putting on some weight.
Yeah, and that's one thing I wanted to touch on too, just in case there's somebody, tuning in and say, oh, well, I don't need my horse to gain weight. But that's a great thing with this product is, we're giving the body what it needs to help repair itself. And so since we're allowing the body to repair itself, it's not going to just put on unnecessary weight.
Yeah.
Right?
If the body needs it, the body will take it, is kind of probably how it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Because my friend Abby's horse, Indy, he put on that weight. But now since he's filled out, he's not like gaining weight. It's like he's not chunky. Like, he's at the perfect size that he needs to be.
Yeah, and that goes back to what, people said, it just helps balance the horse from the inside out. And that's why, you could have 50 horses with 50 different things going on. And in essence, it's going to customize to what each horse needs, because again, we're allowing the body to send its own repairing hormones to its own problem areas. And there's been a few times where people say, oh, this has made my horse so fat. It's like, well, what we've heard on the other side of that is a lot of people have been able, they're just feeding their horse too much. And so by giving them the product, they were able to cut back on the feed. And so again, going back into the balanced stages. So that is great.
Yeah. And the product also shows you like what you do need to cut back on and what more you need to give her,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's we're definitely blessed. It's helped in a lot of ways, and stories like yours I know helps a lot of people out there looking for something to help their horse as well. And that's one of the things too we found just through the years. It doesn't matter what part of the country you're in, what type of diet that you have your horse on. It could be the best of the best, and it just seems like when you add this little scoop, that is the missing component to a lot of things. And even when you get into the performance world where there's not a lot of issues going on, it's really going to help with the recovery, the stamina, the focus. And, those are things that you've seen just for yourself as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, well, before we sign off here, is there anything else that you would like to add or say before we sign off?
I just want to thank you guys again for reaching out to me, for me to be able to have the experience and share my story and creating such a great product.
Well, it's always a pleasure, and we are always honored to have people like yourself come on and take the time just to share your story. So we really appreciate it. Hannah Lang out of Pennsylvania, thank you so much for taking the time to share your story here on the Team Equinety Podcast.
That's all for this episode of the Equinety Podcast. For more information on purchasing Equinety, be sure to visit our website at teamequinety.com, where you'll also find product information as well as more testimonials on how others have seen amazing results by implementing Equinety into their horse's supplement regime. We'll have more stories on how Equinety is helping horses worldwide right here on a future episode of the Equinety Podcast.